Okay, back to relationships. Seems to be a big topic. My question is, I want to understand a little bit about how the universe orchestrates events.
It gives you what you expect. Next.
Okay. I was in a relationship, and and I do see that in relationships I have this thing of I don't expect them to continue long term, like the other person that was up here before, and that happened. It was a relationship that was going really well.
Well, the more you talk about it, the more you escalate that vibration.
Okay.
So let's talk about something else.
Well, okay, I want to just understand.
I don't want to talk about something else. I want to keep escalating what isn't working. Need to talk about my issue.
Right.
Need to keep it alive and active so that I can keep attracting around it, so that I can keep justifying my complaint. You don't mean to do it.
No.
But you are doing it. Mm-hmm. In other words, when you continue to talk about what is and how you feel about it, you continue to keep active in your vibration that. So people who are really wanting long-term relationship don't have access to you because you're offering a vibration that is different from that. So do you need to take the subject of relationship and think about it in a way that will allow a long-term relationship? Well, that would help, but you don't have to do that. You could just think about the other things in your life that are working, or you could think about anything other than what isn't working, and you could open your vibration and allow a long-term relationship. But then as a relationship comes and you say, oh, this is a really good one, this is better than anything that I ever thought I could get, I hope it lasts, then sometimes you get back on that same track again. And so why worry about something being long-term? Why not enjoy it now? We never see you say to the ice cream cone, I was hoping for a long-term relationship with you. Please don't melt. I'm just going to sit you here and I will just lick you a tiny little bit every day. I want you to be a long-term relationship. Instead you say, I think I will enjoy this now. I think I will enjoy this now. And so, you see, we think that the reason that people get fixated on the idea of long-term anything, I want to win the lottery so I'll have long-term money, or I want to get a relationship that would be long-term, or I want to find the perfect house that I will really be happy in committing myself to for a long period of time. And we think the reason that so many of you do it is because you believe really in shortage. You don't think that there's that many really good ones going around, and you're afraid that when you get one, that if that one doesn't stay, that then there'll be the shortage, the drought of not being able to find the others. And what we're wanting you to understand is that there is an ongoing avalanche of well-being flowing to you. And you don't have to take a little piece of it, no matter whether it's a relationship or a piece of money or a house or a piece of property. You never have to take hold of a piece of it and say, I've got to protect myself, I've got to hold this, because if I don't protect it, then the well-being's going to get away from me and I'm going to be left in a drought or with nothing. Because universal forces are hearing your desire and are keeping the reservoir of well-being flowing to you at all times. If you are not worried about it being so long-term, more of them would be. But we want you to start saying to yourself, when you find yourself saying, I hope this lasts, or I want to attract one that lasts, we would like to hear you begin to say, fun now doesn't matter. Fun now doesn't matter. Fun now doesn't matter. Fun now doesn't matter. It's fun now. Life is good now. Doesn't matter. It's fun now. Doesn't matter. Fun now doesn't matter. Esther plays this game where they'll get into an RV park or into a city like San Diego. Recently, they've been in Malibu for about 10 days before coming here. And every day they walked, they enjoyed the ocean. They saw hundreds of dolphins jumping right outside their window and 2 big whales. As they took walks back up to the hillside where they couldn't see anything other than nature and Cher's house. They felt exhilaration at the perfection of their time. And Esther is watching the days go by and knowing that the weather was holding just for them. It was magnificent weather. Day and night they walked. The windows were open. They didn't have to close the windows or turn on the air conditions. It was just a perfect time. And then Esther began saying, "No one can make me go. No one can make me go." Which was her fun way of saying to Jerry, "I am loving this so much. I'm having such a good time." And on the day before it was time to go, about 100 times she said, "No one can make me go," sort of revving up a sort of artificial resistance. "No one can make me go," she is saying. But what she really meant was, what's next? What's next? What's next? Because in the moment that it was time to pull up the feet and pull in the cords and get on the road onto the next place, her heart began to soar in a new and profound way, even higher, even surer, even happier than the last days that she'd been in that place, as she began to anticipate what was coming next and what was coming next and what was coming next. That's the way we would like you to feel relative to all things. You're supposed to have a very good time. It is supposed to be good for you. In other words, Esther knows that her favorite place of all places is Malibu. She knows that she's not going to see whales jumping in the orange grove out here. And she knows that the atmosphere and the environment is different from that. But she also knows that her happiness level does not have to dip because there is a change of scenery. And that's the thing that we want so much for you to hear. As you begin to try to feel this adventure of what's next and what's next, it is our promise to you, it will soothe the sting of what you think you're leaving behind. And before you know it, when you leave this room, we know that even though we've had a good time together, you're not going to stand in this room and look longingly back, wishing that we could all just live here forevermore. You're eager to get on with what is next. And when you adopt that sort of attitude about relationship, before you know it, you'll find yourself in a relationship that feels good, that feels good, that feels good. Don't misunderstand. We're not saying to you that you should just keep moving from person to person to person to person to person. We're saying that the attitude that it's good now and the attitude that it will continue to be good, or the attitude that it's going to get good, or the attitude that good is coming, is the attitude that keeps you in the place where you let in the good that is lined up. We wish that you could see, from our vantage point, what's lined up for you. You would not be crying. But you got to stop crying and being sad to let it in. So then it comes around to that old thing. You got to get happy to let happy stuff in. And you say, well, let the happy stuff in and then I'll be happy. And we say, you got to get happy to let the happy stuff in. And you say, well, let the happy stuff in and then I'll be happy. And we say, you have to go with the flow of universal forces. Give it up. Give up the resistance. Stop the struggle. And start having a good time. And stop making such a big, hairy deal out of everything. Not just you, but all of you. In other words, stop making big things out of little things. Relationships are not the big thing that you make them out to be. It's an opportunity to experience more of who you are. It's an opportunity to explore close up who someone else is so that they can explore close up who you are. In other words, your relationship with your source is where your true joy comes from, you see. And sometimes you hook up with someone who has light in their eye, and for a little while they serve as a catalyst to hook you up with source. But they've only been a jumper cable to hook you up with source. You have a direct route to hook up with source. And when you hook up with source, then you're joyful in your now, and then the people that come to you, you have a very nice dance together, you see. You're tuned in, tapped in, turned on. You have broader connection. Your partner is too. You're both connected to source. Source is feeding both of you. New ideas are flowing. And you end up having a very delightful new adventure on a path that you have not been on before, having exposure to experiences that you would not have had before, and your life does not melt down to be an in-the-moment, constant competition about who's right and who's wrong. You come to realize that there are many, 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 many different ways to get every place you want to go. And there's not one right path. And you are not in competition with each other about what the right path is. You are cooperatively co-creating with one another. And the variety, the variances, the disagreements in the choices that you make is the very thing that gives birth to the greater path. In other words, eternity, eternalness is based upon this cooperative disagreement. If you all agreed about everything, there would be no motion forward. There would be no new idea. There would be no third plan. There would be no adding unto all that is. There would be no eternity. There would be no expanding universe. There would be no eternal life. There would be endedness. And so, if we were standing in your physical shoes, every day we would thank our lucky stars, and they all are lucky. Every day we would feel appreciation for the discord and disagreements and different points of view that exist in your house, in your own mind, in your nation, in your world. Because these disagreements give birth to the ideas that those who are connected will then live out. So, very good mantra is, oh well, now what? Oh well, now what? If we were standing in your physical shoes, now more than ever, it would be our powerful intention to allow nitpicking, petty, unimportant disagreements be a thing of the past. And we would every day step into that greater intention of who I really am. So next time you're lost and feeling confused, stop and say, but who am I really? I'm not really lost. Next time you have not enough money, stop and say, but who am I really? I am truly an abundant person. Who am I really? What is the bigger picture? And it is our promise to you, if you will, each time you feel negative emotion, reach for the bigger picture until you feel soothing. You will connect with Source on such a regular basis that every picture, big or small, will line up for you. Because that is the promise of Source to you. You are beloved beings, fully supported, always understood, and always in the mind of Source. You are never forgotten. You are never left out. Well-being is never not flowing to you. You've just got to find some way, somehow, of tricking your mind into letting the well-being in instead of tenaciously holding to this petty little moment of needing to be right about something that couldn't matter less in the scheme of things. You are right. You are right. You're right. You're here and your opinion matters. Your opinion is so right that in the moment that you define that you want something, all of the resources of the universe fall into alignment in order to accommodate you. And if you were not so stubbornly needing to be right by making somebody else wrong, you'd be the recipient of the evidence of your rightness right now. If you were not comparing yourself to someone else who thinks they're right and trying to defend your rightness against them, you'd be in this soothing, open place where you could allow the well-being to be. So many people cannot be right without making somebody else wrong. And that is the screwiest thing that humans do. Because Source doesn't say, we've only got enough juice for half of you to be right. Oh, wait. We've only got enough for a small percentage of you to be right. So most of you are just going to have to get used to being wrong. And just a few right ones will get the resources. It isn't like that at all. The resources flow to all who ask. And you live them fully when you let them in. As we are moving forward here today, it is our desire to assist you in aligning with your desires. We'll not encourage too much escalating of your issues. We're wanting to de-escalate issues. We're wanting to make things that have been making you crazy not matter to you. We want you to step into a bolder, more general place of connection where you just feel good for no other reason than that it feels good to feel good. And when you begin to practice that, all of the details of your life take care of themselves because there are endless resources of alignment that assist you. There is an orchestration of energy on your behalf that defies verbal description. The well-being of this time-space reality is at an all-time high. More are asking than ever before. The energy is coming forth in response to your request more than ever before. This is the greatest potential for human thriving in all of the existence of all that is. We have never known a more dynamic time. We have never known a more expressive time. We've never known a more joyful potential time than that which you are standing upon now. So you get to choose moment by moment. Am I going to let it in by my choice of thought, or shall I pinch it off by taking a stance about something that has nothing to do with me?